Welcome to a new journey through one of the world's most celebrated destinations. Today's exploration focuses on France, and in particular, the timeless beauty of Paris, a city where history, artistry, and architectural brilliance meet at every corner. Settle in, relax, and allow each chapter to unfold as the landmarks, stories, and iconic scenes of this remarkable nation come to life. France stands as a layered portrait of history, art, and lived culture, where stone and steel meet light and movement to tell stories across centuries. At the core of modern Paris, the Eiffel Tower rises as an enduring emblem of invention and aesthetic daring. Designed for the 1889 Exposition Universelle, this iron lattice structure redefined notions of architecture and engineering, transforming industrial material into a form that reads as both machine and monument. Morning reveals the tower in soft, pale tones. The structure's filigree catches the first rays, casting delicate patterns across the Champ de Mars. As sunlight climbs, the silhouette sharpens, frames of iron and rivet composing a geometry that draws the eye upward. The observation platforms offer sequential perspectives, close-up studies of riveted beams and bolt heads, mid-range views of park-like lawns and promenades, and distance panoramas where rooftops, boulevards, and the Seine align into a living map of the city. Beyond the engineering, the Eiffel Tower functions as a choreography of human encounter. Picnics on the lawns, musicians beneath the iron arches, and slow, reflective evenings filled with scattered light create a rhythm of daily life beneath the monument. Nights transform the tower into an illuminated beacon. Programmed light shows animate the latticework, turning metal into a flickering constellation visible across Paris. Cultural resonance extends outward. Artists, filmmakers, poets, and photographers have repeatedly used the tower as shorthand for romance and modernity. Yet it also hosts scientific instruments, temporary exhibitions, and seasonal events. The tower's adaptability, at once popular gathering place and site for technical study, reveals a civic design that remains active rather than merely symbolic. Architectural details reward slow attention. The curve of a support, the pattern of cross-bracing, the subtle variation in hue where iron meets shadow. Each element contributes to an impression of engineered elegance. The experience is tactile as well as visual. The metallic scent after rain, the distant hum of traffic, the soft conversation in multiple languages, layering memory onto observation. Ultimately, the Eiffel Tower stands as an invitation to look, to climb, to measure one's place within a city that shapes and is shaped by human ambition. It serves as an opening chapter for a larger exploration of France's artistic, architectural, and cultural landscape. The Louvre Museum occupies a unique position where royal residence becomes global repository, a place where ancient stone and modern glass converse across a single plaza. Originally a medieval fortress, the site evolved over centuries into a palace and then into a public museum after 1793, its galleries now containing artifacts and artworks that chart the arc of human creativity. The museum's modern glass pyramid provides a luminous counterpoint to classical facades, framing an entrance into galleries that extend like chapters through time. Sections unfold by theme and epoch. Mesopotamian reliefs and Egyptian funerary sculpture show early civilizational mastery of form and ritual. Greek and Roman statuary reveal ideals of proportion and movement. Renaissance painting rethinks portraiture and narrative, and later works probe technique, imagination, and the shifting boundaries of artistic representation. The Mona Lisa holds an undeniable magnetism, compact, enigmatic, and intensively observed. Yet the Louvre's depth becomes clear when attention turns to lesser-known corners. Carved friezes, tapestries stitched with courtly lives, and cabinets of curiosities where small objects speak as loudly as canvases. Exhibition design alternates between grand procession and intimate discovery, encouraging routes that combine monumental rooms with quiet alcoves for reflection. Architectural features contribute to the visitor's perception. Vaulted ceilings, painted panels, and the weight of coffered rooms add texture to visual wealth. Light behaves differently across galleries, filtered through clerestories in older wings, reflected off polished floors in newer spaces, each treatment shaping the encounter with art. The Louvre's presence extends beyond display. Conservation workshops, research libraries, and educational programs position the institution as active steward of cultural memory. Temporary exhibitions connect global narratives, while the museum's permanent holdings permit sustained study of style, technique, and historical context. Visiting the Louvre demands pace and curiosity. The space rewards multiple returns, each visit revealing new connections between objects and eras. Within this palace museum, the story of Western art sits alongside global traditions, generating a panorama where civilization's visual language can be traced and appreciated. We now journey to the Notre Dame Cathedral. The Notre Dame Cathedral stands as a monumental expression of Gothic ambition, its facades and flying buttresses composing a vocabulary of stone and light designed to elevate thought and feeling. Originating in the 12th century, the cathedral's construction unfolded over generations, producing sculptural programs, stained glass, and structural solutions that reconfigured medieval building practice. The great rose windows admit colored light in kaleidoscopic patterns, transforming interior spaces into living mosaics of hue and iconography. Carved portals present biblical narratives in finely detailed relief, where figures move across tympana with narrative clarity. Gargoyles, perched along the roofline, function as both waterspouts and imaginative companions, their contorted forms bridging utility and myth. The nave's verticality directs attention upward, where vaults and ribs intersect with an austerity and grace unique to Gothic design. Liturgical function and civic presence intertwine here. The cathedral hosted coronations, royal ceremonies, and public gatherings, its bell towers marking time and occasion. In recent memory, restoration efforts have underscored commitments to preservation and to the layered significance this building holds for a city and a nation. Acoustic qualities heighten the sensory experience. Choral voices resonate within stone, organ pipes project sustained tonal colors, and the hush of footfalls amplifies the sense of reverence. The combination of sight and sound cultivates reflection, while the exterior vantage points offer panoramic views of the Seine and the city's skyline. Surrounding quays and bridges frame the cathedral in context. River reflections, rowers in the early morning mist, and cafes along the embankment compose an urban periphery that supports both contemplation and daily life. The cathedral's presence on the Ile de la Cité anchors a historical centre where continuity and change exist side by side. As an architectural masterpiece and cultural symbol, Notre Dame conveys a complex narrative of faith, craftsmanship, and communal memory that continues to resonate across generations. The Arc de Triomphe asserts its presence atop a vast roundabout, an emblematic monument that channels memory, ceremony, and urban geometry into a single sculpted mass. Commissioned in the aftermath of Napoleonic campaigns, the arch commemorates martial achievement through reliefs and inscriptions that narrate battles, sacrifices, and national resolve. The carved panels register movement and emotion, muscular forms, swirling drapery, and allegories of victory, rendered with monumental clarity. Beneath the structure lies the tomb of the unknown soldier, an austere marker of collective grief, where an eternal flame performs daily ritual, animating the site's commemorative function. The juxtaposition of grand celebration and solemn remembrance produces a layered civic space. From the viewing terrace, avenues radiate like a starburst, aligning boulevards and sightlines into an urban choreography. This vantage permits long perspectives, tree-lined promenades, shopfronts commanding daylight, and distant silhouettes of modern developments along the city's horizon. The visual axis organizes Paris itself, turning street networks into a readable, monumental frame. Traffic circulates with a kinetic intensity. The roundabout's motion creates a centrifugal energy that contrasts with the arch's centered stillness. Pedestrian access routes carve passages through asphalt, and the monument's base functions as a transition point between movement and pause, between quotidian transit and considered commemoration. Ceremonial moments further animate the arch. Wreath layings, national anniversaries, and public processions stage the site as a focal point for civic identity. Evening lighting sculpts the reliefs anew, emphasizing depth and texture while the city hums around the monument. Architecturally and symbolically, the Arc de Triomphe occupies a distinct role, both waypoint and memorial, anchoring one of Paris's most famous thoroughfares with dignity and historical weight. Musée d'Orsay occupies an extraordinary architectural conversion, a 19th century railway station repurposed as a luminous temple to modern art. The building's grand clocks and arched ironwork recall the era of industrial elegance, yet the interior functions as a gallery where Impressionist and Post-Impressionist painting reshaped visual perception. Natural light streaming through the glass roof bathes canvases, revealing brushwork and chromatic subtleties that define an epochal shift in artistic technique. Artworks by Monet, Renoir, Degas, and Van Gogh illustrate a revolution in seeing. Loose brushstrokes that capture atmosphere, compositions that prioritize sensation over strict academic representation, and subject matter that turns toward contemporary life. Sculptural works intersperse the galleries, offering three-dimensional counterpoints to painterly experiments. Degas' studies of dancers reveal the intersection of motion and stillness. Van Gogh's canvases present color as emotional architecture. The museum's curatorial narrative situates these works within social change. As Paris modernized, artists responded with new methods of expression that mirrored the city's evolving rhythms. Spatial experience matters here. Vaulted volumes, mezzanines, and stairways create paths that guide attention from intimate studies to panoramic compositions. Views through museum windows frame segments of the Seine and the city beyond, visually linking the collection to the broader urban fabric. Conservation laboratories and scholarly initiatives extend the museum's role beyond exhibition, supporting the preservation and interpretation of works whose fragility demands careful stewardship. Temporary installations and thematic displays further connect 19th century innovations to contemporary discourse. The Musée d'Orsay thus functions as both repository and interpreter, a place where artistic breakthroughs are experienced bodily, where light, space, and paint combine to reorient perception and deepen appreciation for the modern visual moment. Next to Montmartre, which presents an intimate, village-like quarter where narrow streets, artist studios, and terraces coalesce into a portrait of creative life. Situated on a gentle hill, the neighborhood's topography produces terraces, stairways, and unexpected viewpoints. Pedestrian lanes open onto small squares where portraitists, painters, and musicians gather, continuing traditions that once attracted bohemian circles of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The Sacré-Cœur Basilica crowns the hill with a white silhouette, its domes and mosaics offering both visual prominence and interior calm. The basilica's Byzantine-influenced ornamentation and expansive terrace provide panoramic outlooks across the city, a vantage that emphasizes scale. Small streets below, a sea of rooftops beyond, and sky that frames the metropolis. Artistic gestures are visible in public spaces. Murals, studio windows, and small galleries display a living continuity of practice. Cafes press tables onto sidewalks. Conversations drift like improvised music. The neighborhood's texture resists uniformity, substituting commodity for craft and spectacle for quiet encounter. Historic links endure. Atelier addresses, plaques marking former residences, and bookstores preserving rare printings. Yet Montmartre is also adaptive. New practitioners, experimental exhibitions, and small performance spaces renew the district's cultural life each season. Attention to detail rewards slow exploration. The pattern of cobbles beneath foot, the particular tilt of a shutter, the scent of coffee mingling with plaster dust from a nearby studio. These sensory notes compose a cumulative impression of place, one that privileges looking and listening over rapid consumption. Montmartre thus remains a locus where artistic lineage and contemporary practice intersect, offering an urban intimacy that contrasts with Paris's grand boulevards and institutional spaces. The Luxembourg Gardens provide an ordered landscape of statuary, lawns and pathways, a cultivated retreat that balances formal geometry with seasonal variety. Commissioned in the 17th century, the gardens surround a palace with origins in aristocratic residence, though the grounds now belong to the public sphere, where leisure and civic life intersect. Broad promenades bisect trimmed hedgerows. Fountains punctuate axial views and invite pauses in motion. Sculptures populate the grounds, representing literary figures, historical personages, and mythic types, their bronze and stone surfaces weathering time while enabling ongoing dialogue between past and present. Flower beds rotate with the calendar, offering bursts of colour that respond to climate and horticultural design. Activities unfold at multiple scales. Children launch toy boats on reflective pools. Amateur tennis matches animate courts. Elderly residents tend small gardening plots, and readers find shaded nooks beneath chestnut trees. The garden's social texture combines solitude and sociability, producing scenes of both quiet contemplation and measured conviviality. Architectural anchors, the palace facade, orangeries and adjacent galleries, frame the landscape, connecting sculptural and botanical programs to built heritage. Seasonal events, temporary installations, and outdoor concerts further animate the site, linking natural rhythm to cultural programming. Paths invite wandering and discovery, each turn offering a new composition. A statue against a hedge, a bench under filtered light, a distant view toward an urban landmark. The Luxembourg Gardens thus function as a metropolitan lung, structured, living and hospitable, where public life and cultivated design coexist. The Palace of Versailles stands as an unparalleled statement of royal design and landscaped ambition. Its program of architecture, interior ornament and gardens articulating power through aesthetic totality. Originally expanded under Louis XIV, the Sun King, Versailles reconfigured aristocratic life and political geography, translating sovereign image into built environment. The palace's Hall of Mirrors exemplifies this intent, a long procession of gilded surfaces and mirrored bays that both reflect and amplify ceremonial presence. Interior rooms present dense programs of painting, sculpture, and decorative art, where allegory and statecraft merge. Ceilings teem with painted narratives. Furniture and objets d'art reinforce ritualized circulation, and galleries align to accommodate courtly spectacle. The built ensemble operates as a stage for performance, the choreography of appearance, reception, and representation. Gardens extend this theatricality into landscape. Axial terraces, parterres, and formal bosquets are arranged with mathematical precision. Fountain displays animate sightlines, and ornamental groves provide intimate counterpoints to broad perspective. Seasonal water features and orchestrated plantings manifest the interaction of horticulture and engineered spectacle. Beyond immediate aesthetics, Versailles functioned as a model for European court culture. Diplomatic hospitality, artistic patronage, and ceremonial codes developed here and radiated outward. The site's preservation and museumification invites study of both grandeur and the social systems it sustained. Walking through galleries, courtyards, and gardens encourages reflection on scale and intention. How architecture becomes political instrument, how design composes authority. Versailles remains a defining monument to an era in which power was expressed through the built and the beautifully orchestrated.